Okay, so good morning. Today we are discussing about the different stages of EIA project. Okay, we have already got an introduction regarding EIA. Now let us see what are the different stages of EIA. So the different stages of EIA can be written as first stage. First stage in EIA called as screening. What do you mean by screening? Screening stage means you are considering a project. Okay, you have one development project and you are a person who is authorized with the responsibility of conducting the environmental impact study. Okay, so in the first step, okay, the person is supposed to make a decision. Okay, there should be a decision made whether an EIA study is required or not. Is there any need or is there any significance of an EIA study to be conducted for that particular project? Okay, so that stage where a decision is made regarding the feasibility or regarding the requirement of EIA study, you call it as the screening stage. So here you can write that is EIA required? Okay, that is decided by this screening stage. Next, second step, you call it as scoping. After screening, the second step you call it as scoping. What do you mean by scoping? In scoping, you will be identifying, you have decided that an EIA study is required. If the question is whether an EIA study is required and the answer is no, an EIA study is not required, then there is no need of moving on to the next stage, that is scoping. But if the answer is yes, an EIA study is very much required, okay, you have analyzed several factors. I will tell you what are the different factors you will be analyzing. Okay, so you have to conduct a comprehensive study covering many aspects, and as a result of this study, it was decided that yes, an EIA study is required. Okay, so if the answer was yes, an EIA study is required, then you have to move on to the next stage, that is known as scoping. Okay, so what is involved in scoping? In scoping, the person will have to find out what are the issues, and concerns. What are the issues and concerns that need to be identified? Okay, so that is about the second stage of scoping. So screening, second stage is scoping. Then third one is impact assessment. Impact assessment. So it was decided that an EIA study is required. Okay, so if an EIA study is required, you need to find out in the second stage scoping. What you are doing is you are finding out what are the issues and what are the concerns related to environment, and you have found out the impact assessment. Okay, so you are identifying and evaluating the impacts. That is done in the stage 3. Next one is management and enhancement. That is the stage 4. And fifth one is environmental statement, preparing an environmental statement regarding the EIA study. So these are the 5 stages. I'll explain once more. The different stages in EIA can be said as, first one is screening. Screening means a decision is made whether an EIA study is required or not. Is there any activity, is there the activity is causing so much impact to the environment so that an EIA study becomes mandatory? Okay, if the answer is an EIA study is not required, you will stop the procedure. But if the answer is an EIA study is required, then next step will be the movement will be happening to the next stage, and next stage you call as the scoping stage. What is done in second stage, scoping stage? What are the issues and what are the areas of concern which you need to consider while conducting a EIA study? That is second stage, scoping. Third one is impact assessment on the areas identified in the second stage. In the second stage of scoping, you have identified several areas which need to be taken into consideration, right? So in that particular stages, what are the impacts, identify the impacts and evaluate the impact. Okay, so that is the third stage known as the impact assessment, where identification and evaluation of impact is taking place. Fourth stage is known as management and enhancement, and last stage is known as environmental statement. So these are the different stages in the process of an EIA study. Okay, so now let us come in detail. Let us study in detail about the screening stage. Let us study in detail about the screening stage. So in screening stage, I told that in screening stage, whether the project is required or not, that is taken into consideration. So there are two aspects. First one is, what is the characteristics of the project? Okay, you are undertaking a project. A project is going to happen. What are the characteristics of that project? That you need to study. And secondly, in addition to characteristics of study, you have to make a study on the location of the project. So these are the two stages. Okay, or these are the two ways in which the screening stage is carried out. What are the characteristics of the project and where is the project located? So coming to the characteristics of the project. What is the size and design of the project? What is the size and design of the project? What is the type of project and how much is the size of the project? Definitely for small projects, you know that for small project, there is no need of conducting an EIA study. If you are constructing a house, there is no EIA study conducted because it's a very small project, right? But for larger projects and for complicated design projects, an EIA study will become very much essential. So size and design of project is one factor. Then proximity to other natural resources. For example, if an industrial project is in the pipeline, and this industry is need to be located near to a river, so the impact will be too much because it is located to a natural source, and that natural source is acting as the ecosystem for a large number of organisms, right? So characteristics of project is very much important. Size and design, proximity to other natural resources. Then how is the waste management? Okay, how the waste is managed in that particular project, that is important. Then pollution and nuisance. How much is the degree of pollution and how much is the nuisance caused by this particular project to nearby areas? That is also another important characteristic of project. And next one is mitigation options. So these are the different characteristics of the project which will decide whether, which will be considered in a screening stage for studying about the feasibility of an EIA project. Now there are certain location characteristics. Whatever type of project you are speaking about, what is the area or what is the location? Where is the project located? That is also very much important. So sensitivity of the location is one factor. Then after sensitivity, you can say that rareness. If that location is a very rare type of location where you will find different rare varieties of flora and fauna, different rare varieties of species is found in that particular location. Then existing land use pattern of that particular location, that is important. Then cultural importance. Cultural importance. So these are the different stages. Characteristics of project and location is very much important while we are discussing about the screening stages. Okay, these two things, these two headings should be kept in mind while the screening stage of the project is going on. Now, there are three ways in which these studies will be conducted. Okay, the three steps in screening. Okay. Of course, the stages in EIA involve screening, scoping, etc. So here we are studying only about the screening stage. There will be three steps in the study conducted for screening. That is, one is desk study, then site visit, and preliminary evaluation. These are the 3 stages. Desk study means the study is conducted at the desk itself. There is no need of going to the site. With the available records available in the office, the study will be conducted at the desk itself. Site visit means a visit will be conducted to the site, similar to reconnaissance in case of a survey. You have already studied about all these things. Reconnaissance, similar to that, there is one site visit and then there is one preliminary evaluation. So what are the different aspects covered? What are the different aspects covered in all these things? Okay, it will include site location and history, an idea about the location of the site and what is the history of that particular area that need to be studied. So these 3, desk study, site visit and preliminary evaluation, will be giving some idea about the site location and history. Then terrestrial, aquatic, habitat description. Okay, what is the particular habitat or what is the particular type of living organisms which are depending upon that particular area. Then species or communities. Species or communities. Then extent of development. These are the different idea or different data which will be obtained after conducting a screening study. Okay, so screening study will be involving desk study, site visit, preliminary investigation, etc. Okay, so that's it. Next one, what are the baseline conditions? What are the baseline conditions? Means when you are conducting a screening study, you will be examining in detail the different components and what are the impact happening to these different environmental components due to this particular project. Okay, so baseline conditions and potential impact is another thing. So what is meant by this baseline characters and potential impact? Let us see. Clear? Baseline conditions and potential impacts. Potential impacts. Now, first one is water. You are considering the water environment. Okay, I told you that in screening step, you are deciding whether a EIA project need to be done or not. So in order to make a decision, you have to consider the different parameters separately. Okay, first parameter you have considered is water. Okay, so for water, quality, quantity, use, accessibility. These are the different characteristics. For example, what is the quality of water? How the water can be used? What is the accessibility? What is the quantity of water? So if you're considering an aspect of water, a comprehensive study covering all these aspects, quality, quantity, use, accessibility, etc., of the water should be conducted. Similarly, next aspect you can call it as air. So for air, what is the dust nuisance caused due to air? Then soil is another factor. Infiltration and surface sealing. What do you mean by infiltration? How the different water or different fluids will be getting transmitted deeper into the soil layers. Then flora and fauna. Flora and fauna. It includes populations, communities, habitat, functions. Population, communities, habitat, functions. That is flora and fauna. And last one is built environment. For built environment, you have to consider the impact to transport networks and also impact to buildings. So these are the different baseline conditions and the potential impacts. Okay, considering the different aspects like water, air, soil, flora and fauna, and built environment, and studying the different potential impacts happening to each of these aspects, a decision regarding whether a study is required, whether a EIA is required or not can be decided. Okay, so after considering the screening stage, okay, after conducting the screening stage, the competent authority has decided that an EIA is to be wanted. So the competent authority decides EIA needed or not. So the first thing, the competent authority has decided that an EIA is needed. Their answer is yes. A question was put forward to the competent authority whether an EIA study is required, and their answer was yes, we need to have an environmental impact assessment for this particular project. So if the answer is yes, then EIA will be proceeding to the next stage. Proceeds to, what is the next stage? Scoping. We have already seen the next stage is scoping. If the answer is no, we don't need a EIA study. After conducting the screening, it was decided that an EIA is not required. No was their answer. Okay, then just some further environmental information will be taken for future purpose. Okay, because in future there may be a question why an EIA was not done. So for that purposes, they will be taking some further environmental action and the file will be closed. There is no need, there is no feasibility of conducting an environmental impact study for this particular kind of project. The decision will be made like that. Okay, so that's it. So here we have seen about the screening aspect. Okay, next aspect is known as scoping. So after the first stage of screening, we'll move on to the second stage. Second stage in the environmental impact assessment. What is the second stage? We have already seen that the second stage is known as scoping. Okay, what is meant by scoping? What is done in scoping? In scoping, you will be identifying what are the issues and what are the concerns to be addressed, right? So identification of issues and concerns that need to be addressed, that will be decided in the stage known as scoping. So let us see scoping. So what is happening in scoping? Identifies the potential environmental concerns and impacts. Environmental concerns and impacts. How this identification of potential environmental concerns and impacts will be done? This is basically done with the help of involving a consultation. Okay, so consultation with the different beneficiaries or different stakeholders who are dependent on this particular environment under consideration. So consultation, and this consultation will be done with the help of different agents like planners, regulators, different NGOs, then, and also alternative measures. Alternative and mitigation measures need to be identified. So that is about the second stage known as scoping. What is done in scoping? The potential environmental concerns are being identified or potential environmental impacts are to be identified. This identification process can be done with the help of consulting with different people or different section of people involved like planners, regulators, NGOs, etc. And what are the alternatives and what are the mitigation measures? All these things will be included in this scoping, right? Third stage, you call it as the impact assessment. Third stage is known as the impact assessment. So in impact assessment, you will be considering the features like water, air, soil, flora and fauna. All these things are the, we have seen a bit baseline condition, right? Just before discussing the scoping, in the case of screening itself, we have seen about the baseline condition. So the different conditions like water, air, soil, flora, fauna, all these things will be assessed. Okay, what are the impacts happening, or what are the effect to these particular segments as a result of this developmental project. But there is one thing, it will be done in a more deeper way. Okay, so it is deeper than the screening. We have analyzed all these things in screening aspect, but in case of third process known as the impact assessment, the analysis or impact assessment will be done with more depth than screening, because in screening it's only a preliminary process to decide whether an EIA study need to be conducted or not. But this involves a much more complicated, or this is a more advanced step in EIA. Okay, so a deeper study when compared to screening need to be done in the case of this impact assessment. Okay, then next step is known as the management and enhancement. Management and enhancement. What do you mean by management and enhancement? In management and enhancement, there are different stages, one being mitigation. What is meant by mitigation? Mitigation involves the different measures to reduce or avoid the negative impact. What are the different measures to avoid or reduce the negative impacts that will be involved in mitigation? Next one is compensation. After mitigation, you have the compensation. Compensation involves measures to take up for loss or damage. Measures to take up for loss or damage is involved in compensation. And next one is enhancement. What is meant by enhancement? New benefits will be achieved. Okay. So management and enhancement includes mitigation, then compensation. Mitigation means to reduce or to avoid the negative impact, you have to take up a step known as mitigation. Then compensation. Of course, there is some amount of distress or some damage occurred, right? So how can this damage be made up? Okay, or how can this damage be compensated? And last one is enhancement. Enhancement means how new benefits can be achieved. So these are the different stages involved in management and enhancement. Okay, so we have seen what is screening. Second step is scoping. In scoping, what you are doing is identifying the potential environmental concerns and impacts in consultation with different group of people like planners, regulators, NGOs, etc. Then you have the third step known as impact assessment. It should be done with more depth than screening stage. But here also you are understanding or you are analyzing the baseline characteristics like water, air, soil, flora, fauna, etc. Fourth step is management and enhancement. This involves 3 stages. Mitigation means how to reduce the negative impact. If some negative impact have occurred, how to compensate or how to make up for the loss, that is compensation. And next one is enhancement. Okay, so these are the different stages. Now coming to the last step, that is known as the environmental statement. Okay, screening, scoping, impact assessment, management and enhancement, and last step is known as the environmental statement. So in environmental statement, what is required is, it is a final document. After conducting all the study, the final document for public visibility, you call it as an environmental statement. Final document for public visibility is environmental statement. Then here what is done? The evaluation of different significant environmental impact. Evaluation of significant environmental impact is done in this stage, that is environmental statement, and it will conclude. It is forming a conclusion for the different decision makers. So this is about the environmental statement. So you have seen the different You have seen the different stages in environmental impact assessment. Okay, what are the different stages? First one is screening, then you have scoping, then you have the impact assessment, management and enhancement, and last one is environmental statement. Okay, so we'll stop with this.